Mr. Chairman, I will be sharing what more MOM is doing to help Singaporeans have better jobs, better employment outcomes, better protection, and better retirement adequacy. Let me start with better jobs. Given that our workforce growth is slowing, our businesses have to become more manpower lean. At the same time, businesses may need to redesign jobs to support an aging workforce or be more attractive to local job seekers who now have higher aspirations. MOM, together with several sector lead agencies, are helping businesses transform through the Lean Enterprise Development Scheme, LED. Ms. Jessica Tan asked about its effectiveness. Since its launch in October 2015, we have built up good momentum. We have helped about 6,700 companies, which is 3 times the number a year ago. They come from all sectors and are of all sizes. One interesting project was undertaken by the Gratify Group, a company which owns many different F&B brands. The owner, Frank Lau, wanted to make sure that his company's expansion plans would not be held back as a result of lack of manpower. Hence, when conceptualizing its new brand, which is called Omo Omo Don, he set himself a challenge that every outlet must be able to operate with just 3 staff per shift, when most similar concepts needed at least 5 staff per shift. In the F&B business, what Frank wanted was certainly a tall order, please pardon the pun, but Frank believed that he needed to push the boundaries to have any chance of scaling the business in a sustainable way. He engaged the Singapore Productivity Centre to redesign his workflow and processes. They started with a menu, with food preparation very much in mind. They studied operational flows at many food outlets and collected data on time-consuming tasks. The end result included a central kitchen, self-service ordering and payment, and optimized kitchen designs. Staff were also cross-trained to prepare food and attend to customers. The improved job scope resulted in better pay and higher retention. Salaries offered by Omo Omo Don are on average 15% higher than market rate. There is lower attrition as workers are more motivated to stay. Thanks to these measures, manpower required for each new outlet was reduced by up to 60%. This example shows how transformation is possible. The LED scheme supports all of the firms. It provides a one-stop service for businesses, especially SMEs, to access schemes offered by different government agencies without having to figure out where and who to approach for what. However, not all transformations need customized solutions like Frank did. Many businesses will benefit just adopting ready-to-go productivity solutions. For example, the Smart Management and Tracking System, or SMTS. Using RFID technology to manage, track, and audit assets to reduce stock-taking time, the companies can enjoy much productivity improvement. It is useful for nearly all businesses in manufacturing and retail. There are now more than 40 ready-to-go solutions pre-approved by government agencies such as Spring Singapore, A-Star, and IMDA. These ready-to-go solutions have been tried and tested, so there is no need for businesses to worry about ineffective solutions or fly-by-night vendors. Through the LED scheme, we aim to make technology and innovation pervasive, not only at the enterprise level, but also at the industry level, and not just in 1 or 2 sectors, but across all 23 ITM sectors. For instance, under the Lean Hotel Initiative, 16 hotels came together to collectively identify gaps and design industry solutions. In just 4 months, the hotels had achieved productivity savings of between 4.5% to 28% without having to compromise service quality. We also plan to go beyond the ITMs to non-ITM sectors and are in discussions with several industries such as furniture, farms, lifts and escalators to support their transformation. Mr. Chairman, as businesses transform and jobs become better, so too must workers adapt. This is how we can achieve better employment outcomes. As mentioned by Minister Lim, the Adapt and Grow initiative helped place more than 25,000 job seekers into new jobs and careers in 2017, about 20% more than in 2016. Broadly speaking, we aim to help both missed matches, where employer and job seekers have not found each other, and mismatches, where there are skills or wage gaps that make it hard for the job seeker to secure a job. Of the 25,000 job seekers placed, about 60% involved missed matches. The job seekers were job ready, but somehow missed finding the right employers. Workforce Singapore and NTUC E2I helped them to find a match. Mr. Patrick Tay and Mr. Chong Ki-Hiong asked for an update on our efforts to strengthen job matching through the National Jobs Bank. We are transforming Jobs Bank into a new platform called My Careers Future. My Careers Future will have new features to help job seekers and employers find better matches. It will have intelligent job matching and can recommend jobs to job seekers that would best fit their skill sets. It will also highlight jobs that are supported by Adapt and Grow programs, such as the professional conversion programs, to help bridge job and skills mismatches. My Careers Future has been up and running since 2nd January this year, and the portal will be officially launched in the second quarter this year. Besides reducing missed matches, we helped to close skills or wage mismatches. Of the 25,000 job seekers placed, 40% involved job seekers with some form of mismatch. This proportion has grown significantly from just 25% in 2016. Placements of mismatch cases doubled from about 5,000 in 2016 to about 10,000 in 2017. This reflects our more intensive efforts to address mismatches. As our economy restructures, job skills mismatch will be a growing challenge. They can be very unsettling for individuals who have lost their jobs or are at risk of retrenchment. This is why our key focus has been to step up support for job seekers with skills or wage mismatches, because they need more help. Last year, we strengthened support under the Professional Conversion Program, or PCP, and Career Support Program, or CSP. Associate Professor Faisal Ibrahim and Mr. Loh Tia Kiang and Dr. Intan asked how effective MOM's efforts have been in helping the long-term unemployed, older workers, and mature workers. If members recall, the CSP provides a wage subsidy that helps to close the gap between what PMET job seekers expect and what employers are prepared to offer. With the enhanced wage support under CSP, placements have quadrupled from about 260 in 2016 to over 1,100 in 2017. Among the CSP placements, more than 80% were long-term unemployed. The retention rate of those placed has been encouraging. Within 12 months of placement, about 70% of those placed in 2015 and 2016 have remained in employment. Besides CSP, we also raised the salary support caps of PCPs. PCP placements in 2017 were almost 3 times that in 2016. In particular, the proportion of mature PMETs, especially those who are 50 years old and above, has more than doubled. Similarly, the proportion placed in mid-level jobs paying $4,000 or more has also doubled. Ms. Tana Lechmi would be happy to know that the overall dropout rates for PCPs are low. More than 9 in 10 participants complete the programs. Even in the healthcare sector, which has a longer training period for PCPs, almost 9 in 10 have successfully completed the programs. For the minority who drop out, most have personal reasons or find it challenging to adapt. We have worked with the Ministry of Health to reduce the duration of some PCPs, such as nursing, without compromising the quality of training. More importantly, we need to strike a balance between stringent criteria and processes to screen individuals and giving job seekers sufficient opportunities to start new careers. One person who has started a new career is Mr. Soon Si Chai. He's 44 years old. After graduating with a degree in electronic and electrical engineering from Loughborough University, Sichai spent the early part of his career working as an engineer. More than 10 years ago, he made a career switch to join the banking sector, where he had a fruitful career, leading back-office teams in different banks. However, he always had a lifelong dream to set up his own business. In 2014, he took the plunge, but in less than 2 years, the venture failed, and he became unemployed for more than a year. It was a challenging and stressful period, as he had just had a newborn. During this period, the family had to depend on his wife's income and their savings while he soldiered on in his job search. Sichai came across South Island Aquarium, a company specializing in imports and exports of aquatic plants and ornamental fishes. Although he had to take a pay cut, Sichai was keen on the role as he felt the company had good potential and was excited by its expansion plans. The company was also keen to tap on Sichai's MNC and management experience. To better prepare for his role as a business manager, Sichai was enrolled in the PCP for International Trading Executives. This is a one-year program to bridge skills gaps in supply chain, trade finance, and e-commerce. He is now 5 months into the PCP. Mr. Low Tia Kiang asked about the long-term unemployment situation. In fact, Sichai is one of the more than 6,600 individuals previously unemployed for at least 6 months, which is the definition of long-term unemployed, who found a job through the Adapt and Grow initiative. This is a 25% increase in the number of long-term unemployed placed compared to 2016. They account for close to 50% of unemployed job seekers placed through Adapt and Grow, when all the different programs are combined. Realistically, not all of the long-term unemployed job seekers will succeed in the new jobs that we help match them to, but we are prepared to take some risk through support programs to help them get on their feet. Otherwise, we risk the pool of long-term unemployed getting bigger and their families falling deeper into difficulties. Today, with a growing economy and these programs in place, the long-term unemployment rate for local PMETs has improved from 0.9% in 2016 to 0.7% in 2017. However, compared to a few years ago, the resident long-term unemployment rate remains slightly elevated, but it is not at its highest as Mr. Low Tia Kiang thinks. Nevertheless, we believe there's still much more to do. Besides helping those already unemployed, like Sichai, we are also supporting those at risk of displacement. One such example is Mr. Vincent C. Vincent had spent majority of his career performing IT support in the hospitality sector. However, when he saw his company restructuring to cut costs, he thought he should make plans. Although worried that he could not adapt at his age, he is 51 years old, Vincent also saw an opportunity to learn something new. Given the strong growth of e-commerce, he saw logistics as a growth sector and signed up for the Attach and Train program for logistics executives. Unlike the usual PCPs, the Attach and Train does not guarantee a job at the start. This is because some sectors or employers are growing, but are not yet ready to hire more people. But rather than to wait, the program helps job seekers like Vincent build up their CV to be ready for a new career when the opportunities come. Vincent is currently 6 months into the Attach and Train program with ST Logistics. The company has been suitably impressed by him and is also ready to hire. Although Vincent's training attachment will only end this June, ST Logistics has already offered him full-time employment. Vincent is one of the 13,000 mature job seekers helped through Adapt and Grow in 2017. He is also a very good example of how the government can help a mature worker who has taken proactive steps to overcome his fears to find a new career in a growth sector. These mature workers account for about half of all placements under Adapt and Grow. About half of them, like Vincent, are 50 years old and above. We now have over 100 PCPs in more than 30 sectors, helping both displaced PMETs as well as those like Vincent who are at risk of displacement. Last year, MOM announced stepped-up efforts to place local PMETs in 5 growth sectors with good potential for PMET jobs, namely Infocom and Media, professional services, finance and insurance, wholesale trade, and healthcare. We have generated positive momentum. Placements in these 5 sectors accounted for about 50% of all PMET mismatch placements in the second half of 2017. About 50% were mature local PMETs. Through this effort, we have gained new insights into how we can support the manpower needs of companies that are growing and transforming. The key is to engage the companies early, before they have firmed up their plans. By doing so, it is more likely that their existing employees can be a part of the company's future instead of just being part of the past. Our model of PCPs will therefore evolve. We no longer wait till workers are unemployed or retrenched to reach out to them. Instead, we work with companies ahead of time to put in place redeployment PCPs, such as in consumer banking, where existing staff are retrained and redeployed. As the banks transform their frontline services, hundreds of bank tellers and cashiers are adapting to do digital marketing, data analysis, and product development. These staff can avoid painful retrenchment and at the same time help their employers meet their new manpower needs. In 2018, we expect more placements to come from such redeployment PCPs. Our Adapt and Grow efforts are not only targeted at PMETs. A sizable proportion, about 40%, placed under Adapt and Grow are rank-and-file workers. Similar to PCPs for PMETs, we also have place and trained programs for rank-and-file workers to reskill to take on new roles. More than 2,000 workers were placed under such programs in 2017, representing a more than 50% increase from 2016. We have also piloted the work trial scheme in 2016. This scheme is targeted at job seekers who are job-ready but are not sure about the specific jobs. It could also be that the job seeker and prospective employers are unsure about each other. Through work trial, they have up to 3 months to assess each other, with government bearing the cost. In 2017, the number of job seekers placed through work trial has increased 5 times, from about 100 to 500. One of them is Mr. Muhammad Safari. Safari left his previous job as a sales manager in an IT solutions company as he felt the environment was not quite suited to him. However, he was still keen on a sales position as he enjoys interacting with people. He found out that Crosstrack was hiring a sales manager. And in case you're wondering, Crosstrack is a startup which provides an online marketplace to allow customers to source for the most suitable courier for their delivery jobs. Unlike his previous sales jobs, which were focused on direct sales, Crosstrack's requirement of a sales manager includes operations management and liaising with delivery drivers. Safari was therefore apprehensive. He thought to himself, could he cope with the additional workload? And does a tech startup offer sufficient job security? Therefore, he decided to sign up for work trial before committing on a permanent basis. Through the work trial, Safari had the opportunity to try out a new job in an unfamiliar environment, a startup. Not only did he enjoy the dynamic nature of a startup, he also picked up new IT skills. Crosstrack saw that he had the right aptitude and attitude and employed him on a permanent basis when the work trial ended. So far, the Adapt and Grow initiative has been able to provide the appropriate interventions for job seekers at different stages, as highlighted by Mr. Patrick Tay. However, we're always looking for better ways to scale up, enhance existing programs, or introduce new ones which will help job seekers. This year, we will make 3 enhancements to Adapt and Grow. First, we will introduce 3 new attach and train PCPs by second quarter this year in areas where we expect manpower demand to increase, namely AI game programmers, robotics engineers, and food production specialists. Second, we will also do more for our rank-and-file workers, a suggestion raised by Associate Professor Faisal Ibrahim. In particular, to further encourage employers to hire long-term unemployed rank-and-file workers, we will raise the salary support for such workers under the Place and Train program from 70% to 90% of monthly salary. We will also increase the maximum monthly payout to employers from $2,000 to $3,000. Third, there is scope to enhance the upward mobility of lower to middle-income workers by helping them take up better jobs. Part of this is done through efforts under the LED scheme to uplift and transform jobs, but the other part is helping workers to access such jobs. The work trial has proven useful in plugging information gaps. Without work trial, Safari would likely have missed out on a good career opportunity in a growth sector, and Crosstrack would have missed out on a good hire. Mr. Desmond Chu will be glad that we will expand the current scope of work trial to provide workers with more opportunities to try out better jobs, specifically better paying jobs, and help companies which need more manpower to assess job seekers. This was a point also raised by Mr. Chong Ki-hyong. We will call the enhanced program Career Trial. Under the Career Trial program, we will double the maximum training allowance from $1,200 per month to $2,400 per month. Further, the salary support to employers and the additional retention incentive will be available for all job seekers who are unemployed for 6 months or more, instead of only for those unemployed for 12 months or more previously. We will also increase the maximum salary support to employers from $3,600 to $5,400 per job seeker over a 6-month period. Mr. Chairman, the Adapt and Grow initiative is a viable way to help Singaporeans have better employment outcomes even as our economy restructures. We will continue to improve on the scheme designs and intensify our outreach to enable more Singaporeans to be matched to good jobs and careers.